No, I would never have thought I could have gotten out of the way I was feeling. I, no. Um, I felt a lot of despair and I was suicidal. So, eh. And I had a very loving family. I had, two beautiful children. I still have two beautiful children, and I still have a loving family. But that wasn't keeping me from not feeling that utter despair. Clearly, I was meant to be here. So nobody could have told me that. Nobody could have. But what I know is it was my journey to find that out. And when I started feeding my brain, all of a sudden things started getting clearer. I had little glimpses of joy again. I was like, oh, well, that's not so bad. And slowly, I started. My brain started coming back online, and I started wanting to like live again. Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the extreme because they thought they felt great. In that state, you feel that ecstasy, that lift, but it's really a fake good. I don't know if that's even a way to say that, but because really, when we're in a balanced state, we kind of have that peaceful energy. It's not like we're, you know, you don't have this overexcited state and you don't have this exhausted state. You're kind of in that middle of like, yeah, I feel good. It's called balance. It's called homeostasis. And many of us that have been in addiction are used to those swings. So you're either over here and then you go back over there and you're not used to this middle ground. That's really homeostasis, is really balance. So learning to be comfortable in that too, because I think we have to be over here, and then we just exhaust on the other state. So it's starting to learn how to live more in that middle homeostasis balance state, which can also be joyful, but sometimes it's peaceful. Sometimes it's introspective, and that's the realness of being with a balanced brain. You're able to move through things instead of like getting locked in. When your brain is balanced, you're able to actually move through some of the trauma, move through some of the other pieces, and you check in. I'm tired. Maybe I'll sleep. You learn to start self-regulating more than you did before because your brain is balanced. Before, you were just kind of jumping around because you had no self-regulation. Your brain was off, so you were like, well, I think I want that. I'm not sure. And you kind of bounce around, and now you're like, I need to eat. It's been about 4 hours. Let's see what I can put on my plate. Technology is fantastic, and but there's obviously a downside to it as well too, and that is that we're not, talking to humans anymore. We're talking to our computer. We're getting, we're addicted to our gaming, computers. There's a lot of those are all actually process addictions, but we're missing this connection with each other, which isolates us, and we want to feel that love because our endorphins, our natural opiates, are loving molecules. We want to feel that connection with something and each other. So I do feel like that's moved us further away from each other, and I think it's important that we come together in community. Whether that's meetings. I think that's why AA is so successful. I mean, people are coming together that don't even know each other, and they're sharing, they're being vulnerable, and they're listening to people's experience, strength, and hope in a community, and they're like, oh, maybe I can do that. Oh. So I feel like that piece is really powerful in community, and whatever that is for you. A lot of people are going to meditation classes. I see a lot of people actually in recovery in a lot of the meditation classes that I'm in. Because they're looking for a community to connect with. So however people find that, I think it's a good thing to do. And there's lots of different types. There's refuge recovery, there's smart recovery, there's AA. So there's a lot of spin-offs now of people coming together to be with each other and talk to each other. But our primary food is relationships. And speaking as a foodie, I can say that it's actually relationships with each other, and relationships with food too. But if our brain is so off, and that comes back again to like, but if we can just feed our brains and eat, we can feel more connected with each other because our brain is fed, so we don't feel so paranoid in groups. One of low serotonin symptoms is that you have these phobias, and one of the phobias is social phobia. I mean, some people might be more sensitive than others anyway, just part of their nature. But you can also be low in serotonin and so sensitive to everyone if you're low in endorphins that you just can't imagine being in a group. So you isolate more, and then you isolate more. And then that isolation starts dropping your neurotransmitters. So there's just this mix that we have to bring in of the nutrition piece and the spiritual piece and the community piece.